Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Dana Alexia here, and today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this ash blonde-ish hair, which was definitely a process. And if you know me, you know that I hate doing my hair, but I must say I'm proud of how it came out, but this took me so long to do. And honestly guys, I made a lot of mistakes coloring this hair, so I'm also going to be showing you guys the mistakes that I made and what not to do, so that you guys know certain steps that I've seen people do just to achieve this color I shouldn't have done, because you know that results in damaging the hair, which I did damage this hair a little bit. But let's just actually get right into it. I'm also going to be including, like, you know, clips of me actually coloring the hair and toning and all that stuff, but I actually wanted to film this part with some of the products that I use, well basically all the products that I use, so I can explain the importance of them and how to exactly use them, and again pointing out where I went wrong in using some of these things. I did extra steps for no reason because I messed up, and then I had to go back and correct over mistakes, which drove me nuts. So obviously I'm going to start off with telling you guys where the hair is from. This hair is from Beauty Forever hair, and I've been wearing Beauty Forever hair for the past few months. I love their hair. They have such amazing quality hair and amazing customer service. I think this is like maybe my fourth texture I've had from them. I've had the deep curly, the Brazilian deep curly, I've had the Brazilian body wave, I've had Brazilian body wave again, and then this is the Brazilian deep wave. And honestly, this hair before I bleached it was beautiful. Beautiful. Like, it was like not super curly like the deep curly that I did, but it wasn't like the body wave. It was like nice loose deep waves. It was gorgeous, and it was so soft. It was so soft. And honestly, when I go back to black hair, I'm definitely going to do the Brazilian deep wave. And the lengths that they sent me were 18, 22, 24, and 26. So I'm wearing an 18-inch frontal, and the frontal is actually body wave, not deep wave. The last bundle, the 26, from the first time I bleached it, I left the bleach on for way too long, so it was already damaged, because even from the third time I bleached that bundle, it wouldn't lift enough. I don't know why. It was still like a honey brown. So when I finally, you know, washed the bleach out of all the bundles, the frontal, everything, the frontal looked amazing. When I toned it, it was still like, it wasn't looking cute. So when I went to my stylist and got her to do my hair, I just told her not to use the last bundle, the 26, because it would have just, like, this is already a little bit darker, but it kind of blends. But the other one, it was like, it wasn't even, you see how my hair is cool toned, ash blonde? It wasn't even ash. It was like a dark honey brown, and I was like, honestly, I don't want it in my head. So I told her not to use that one. One thing I will say about this hair is I bleached it 3 times, and you know, the deep wave pattern isn't all the way there. It's still a little bit wavy, but for hair that I bleached 3 times, let me just say that if you are bleaching your bundles, especially to, you know, blonde or ash blonde or any type of those colors where you have to bleach the hair more than once, you have to expect a little bit of damage to the curl pattern and to the texture and all. It's not going to be all flowy and soft and silky. I mean, sometimes if you have a good bleaching experience, you can, which I have before, but like the color that I was trying to achieve, it's definitely, it's going to strip the hair, it's going to strip the oils, it's going to strip everything. So, but for hair, like I said, that I thought I ruined completely. Like, it's holding up, it's good, it straightens like amazingly, it curls, as you can see, it curls really nicely. I do need to go ahead and put some more of this in it because it's obviously dry, and I haven't put this in since I rinsed the bleach out. So then you get rid of the orange tones and the brassiness, and then you want to go ahead and use your toner. So realistically, I used so much the first time, but like I said, it didn't show up on the hair. So after I bleached the hair for the 3rd time, I went in with the Wella Color Charm toner in T14 and T18. The T14 is the pale ash blonde, and the T18 is lightest ash blonde. So I used the T18 from the roots to the middle, and then I used the pale ash blonde towards the ending. So obviously the bottom is a little bit lighter. One thing I want to say as well, so after you bleach hair, you want to use the Shimmer Lights Purple Shampoo, and this is basically going to get rid of any extra brassiness. But if you still have to go ahead and lift the hair again, there's no point in using this, because once you apply bleach or dye to hair, it's always going to be brassy. So toning should always be the last step before deep conditioning, pretty much. Realistically, I didn't know I needed to bleach it a third time until I really looked at the hair and was like, damn, like I don't think this is as light as I need it to be. So I wasted a lot of this shampoo the first 2 times I bleached the hair. Leave this for the last time you bleach or dye hair. And then after I rinsed out the toner, then I went ahead and used the silicone mix. This is actually amazing. This is actually amazing, and it honestly, the hair felt like butter after. I need to do this again. Like I said before, my hair is dry right now because I've been putting a lot of heat in it and I haven't been, you know, deep conditioning and stuff. And you're supposed to deep condition your bundles every week anyways, and it's been about almost 2 weeks since I've had this hair in. So
okay, so moving on to how to actually achieve this hair color, the first step is bleaching. And so you're gonna need 40 volume developer, and you're gonna need some powdered bleach. So I have the bucket, but I also have the packets. I actually just recommend getting the bucket because, well, for me it was like $15, and the packets are like $3.99 a pack. And if you're doing like, you know, 3 bundles and a closure or frontal, you're gonna need at least 4 to 5 packs. So it's just smarter to buy the bucket because you end up saving more. Anyways, so you're gonna go ahead and pour the 40 volume developer into the mixing bowl with the powder and mix it up. And you want to get it to a really good consistency. You don't want the consistency to be too thick because it won't spread over the hair that well, but you also don't want it to be too liquidy, like watery, but you want it to be a nice creamy consistency, especially because if you're working with 3-4 bundles plus a closure and a frontal, you want to be able to spread the product and stretch it fairly, that way you have enough for all the hair that you will be bleaching. So I'm starting off with bleaching the frontal, and I'm starting off with the ends first. One, because the roots of hair just tend to die faster than the ends. And I also wanted the ends to be the lightest part of the hair. I wanted it to be lighter than both the middle and the roots. And I'm bleaching the hair on top of the aluminum foil because aluminum foil actually helps to stimulate heat, which helps to speed up the hair lifting process. So after I've bleached the section of the ends that I want to be the lightest, I'm going to go ahead and flip the frontal over and repeat the same exact steps on the opposite side, just obviously because you know it's double-sided. So do the other side, and then after I do the other side, I'm going to flip the hair back over again and then work my way up. So as I'm working my way up and now focusing towards the roots, I wanted the roots to be darker and I didn't want to add too much bleach to the roots. So once I got to where I think I wanted the ash blonde to start, I started to do light vertical strokes on the hair so that you don't have like a line of exactly where the ash would start, because that looks very unnatural and doesn't flow nicely. This is going to help give you that nice natural ombre. It's going to be, you know, not super perfect and not super exact. So after I'm done working on that and have done both sides of the hair, you want to let it sit for about 20 to 35 minutes. Honestly, the time's going to vary depending on the hair and how fast it takes to bleach. So you just want to keep checking every 5 to 10 minutes, but you don't want to pass 45 minutes just to avoid damaging the hair. And this is the first mistake that I made, because after I rinsed it out, obviously as you can see, it didn't lift light enough. So I went ahead and completed the bleaching process all over again. And what I should have done is waited a few days or at least a week before doing this, but I'm still going to show you guys, you know, me doing it over again, because after waiting a few days or at least a week, this is what you want to do again if the hair doesn't bleach light enough the first time, which it's most likely not going to, because in order to get ash blonde hair, you have to tone it, and to tone it, it has to reach a certain level of blonde. You can't tone auburn, honey brownish hair and get ash blonde. So after you've bleached the frontal, you want to go ahead and repeat the bleaching process on the remainder of the other bundles, and basically following the same exact steps, working at the ends first and working your way up. And I know sometimes applying bleach to hair in the process can actually get the hair to tangle, especially usually when you are not working with a straight hair texture. I'm working with like a loose deep wave, so I did get a little bit of tangling when I applied the bleach. So I just took a wide tooth comb or brush, and you can just detangle the hair after spreading the bleach on top. And then once you detangle the hair, you're able to see the hard to reach areas and like the little spots that you've missed. So the second step is going to be washing the hair with a color enhancing shampoo or conditioner, and this is going to get rid of the, or not get rid of, but this is going to tone down the brassy orange tones that come from the stages of lifting hair. So I'm using the Shimmer Lights shampoo. This is for blonde and silver hair, and they also have a conditioner, but you honestly don't need to use both. You're good with just using the shampoo, which I find is actually the most important, and that's what I see most people use. And the reason why this purple shampoo is so important is because once you lift hair to a lighter color, you're always going to get this warm orange, yellowish, brassy tone. And if you look at the color wheel, purple sits directly across from yellow. So once you add that purple, it helps to tone down that warmth. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, it took me 3 times to bleach the hair to finally get it light enough to be able to do the third step, which is toning. And this is so important because toners are ammonia free, meaning they don't lift the hair or make it any lighter. They only deposit color. So if the hair is not light enough in the first place, it doesn't make sense to tone because it's not going to deposit enough. In my case, it's not going to deposit enough ash. So the toner that I'm using is the Wella Color Charm, and I'm using T18 and T14. T18 is lightest ash blonde and T14 is pale ash blonde. And when using toners, you want to make sure you read the instructions carefully. The first time I toned the hair, I didn't read. Reading is very essential because actually, for this brand specifically, you have to use 20 volume developer just so it can work its best. And the ratio of how you're supposed to use it is 1 part toner, 2 parts developer. So for every bottle of toner, you use 2 bottles worth of 20 volume developer. I just eyeballed it. But to make it easy, you can literally just pour the toner out into the mixing bowl and then fill the bottle up with 20 volume developer twice. And then you have your 1:2 ratio. And you want to mix it up so it's a nice consistency, and then just go ahead and start applying it to the hair. Be generous at first. This is honestly with anything, bleaching, toning, whatever. Be generous and get it all over the hair first, and then go through sections and get those hard to reach areas. And I found that combing and detangling hair during the process helps to spread the product on evenly, which is a really good idea to do before you go ahead and apply more product to that same exact section. That way you're able to save a little bit more product. So you want to make sure you pay attention to how light the hair is that you're working with, because this is going to let you know how long you should keep the toner in for. As the instructions say, you should keep it on for no longer than 30 minutes. The frontal, out of all the bundles that I dyed, got the lightest, so I left it on for about 25 minutes, which I only needed to leave it on for about 10-15 minutes. So as you can see, as a result, I have a lot of gray and purple tones. I overtoned it and I freaked out a little bit, so I hopped on Google and seen that if you mix lemon juice and your conditioner together and saturate it all over the hair and let it sit for a few hours and then wash it out, it actually does work because the lemon helps to tone down the gray and purple tones that come from overtoning hair. So after that happened, I also went to the beauty supply store to see if there was like another toner or something I could buy. Somebody advised me to buy brown box dye and touch up the roots, and this was the result. And I hated it so much. If you guys seen my vlog, I was complaining about it like all day. And a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, girl, it looks fine. You're just complaining." But when you know exactly how you want something to look and it doesn't come out like that, it's definitely going to bother you. And especially it was my birthday. So what I did was, on the day of my birthday, I toned the roots with the same T18 toner, and this was the result. And I was so happy. And you can definitely see the difference in the roots. I don't have any like orange brassy tones, which I hated. And yeah, so I hope this tutorial was really helpful, because I know coloring hair can be pretty tricky and annoying sometimes. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video.